Speed is a genius at being universal. Like barking.
Hi, my name is Speed. Where you from?
I'm from Palestine.
Are you from Free you! Free you!
He's a man. He's a man.
Like, you don't switch up for nobody, bro.
So he can go places where they don't even understand what he's saying and they look at him like the Messiah.
IShowSpeed didn't just blow up, he exploded. In just a few years, he went from a kid yelling into his mic with only a small handful of viewers to one of the most recognizable internet personalities in the world. His streams pulled millions of viewers, his memes are everywhere, and he's crossing into music, sports, and mainstream media. But before we continue, here's a question for you. Is Speed just riding a hype wave that's eventually gonna crash? Or does he have what it takes to flip all of this chaos into a long-term empire the way Mr. Beast did? Let me know in the comments. I want to hear your prediction. So back in 2019, Darren Watkins Jr., better known today as IShowSpeed, was just a 14-year-old kid streaming NBA 2K and Fortnite from his bedroom. He wasn't polished, he didn't have industry connections, and he definitely wasn't backed by a professional team. What he did have was raw, unfiltered energy and the kind of over-the-top reactions that made you laugh even if you weren't paying much attention to the game itself. So at first, almost nobody was watching. Some of his early streams barely cracked 10 live viewers, but Speed kept at it. He streamed daily, sometimes for hours, often late into the night. That grind built his habits long before the fame arrived. Then in 2020, it was the pandemic. With everyone stuck at home, people spent more time online, and Speed's chaotic style started to click. It wasn't just playing games. He was barking at his chat, raging at the screen, and trolling in ways that felt unpredictable, but people laughed. And the clips were chopped and getting shared on TikTok, Twitter, and Reddit. And all of a sudden, he wasn't just a streamer, he was a meme machine. And the snowball effect was huge. His YouTube channel jumped from a few thousand subs in early 2020 to 1 million by mid-2021. In July 2021, he even had a week where he gained over 1 million subscribers in just 7 days. Something almost unheard of. By 2022, Speed had gone far beyond gaming. His content shifted from pure 2K or Fortnite to variety streams, real-life antics, music reactions, trolling, big-time streams, and all kinds of different things. And it made it hard for him to be ignored. And suddenly, he's collaborating with big creators, traveling overseas, and even meeting Cristiano Ronaldo, his idol. His World Cup song turned into an anthem with 200 million views on YouTube. From a teenager streaming to almost nobody, to a global cultural figure with 25+ million subscribers by 2025. Speed's rise wasn't smooth, it wasn't polished, but it was chaotic, it was relentless, and it was entirely his own. And I can't wait to share with you my patented breakdown of how this all worked out. But before we get to the analysis, here's a fun fact. IShowSpeed once accidentally set off fireworks in his room while streaming to tens of thousands of viewers live. It went viral immediately and is still one of the most replayed clips. Here on the Inside Scoop, I use what I call the GSE or Jesse analysis. That stands for goal, strategy, and execution. It's the framework we use to break down how creators like IShowSpeed went from streaming in their bedroom to becoming a global sensation. So let's kick things off with the goal. Are we talking about a bold vision or just a blind gamble? Speed's goal was simple: become a big-time streamer and entertainer. Has it been done before? Yes. People like Ninja and PewDiePie proved you can blow up as a streamer if you find your audience. So was his approach original? Absolutely. Instead of being smooth, polished, or skill-based, Speed leaned into raw chaos and unpredictability. He wasn't the best gamer, but he was the most watchable. So the goal was valid. It was a bold dream with a one-of-a-kind style that was compelling to watch. So next up, we talk about strategy. And to break it down, we run it through the classic SWOT test. The key questions: do the strengths and opportunities really outweigh the weaknesses and threats? What was Speed's actual strategy to hit his goal? He didn't try to be the best gamer. He didn't try to master one niche. His strategy was to make himself the show. Everything, the yelling, the jokes, the chaos, was designed so that you tuned in for Speed himself and not the game on the screen. And he doubled down on 3 moves. Number 1, leverage TikTok and memes. Instead of relying only on long streams, he let his funniest and wildest clips get chopped up and spread across TikTok, Twitter, and Reddit. That turned him into a viral machine. Number 2, he leaned into unpredictability, from barking at his chat to pulling stunts like fireworks indoors. You never knew what was going to happen next, and you just can't look away. And that was, I guess, part of the plan. And number 3, expand beyond gaming. Music, collabs, even meeting Cristiano Ronaldo. All of this stretched his brand so he wasn't boxed in as just another streamer. His strengths: high energy personality, authenticity. He never fakes his reactions. Endless meme potential with a young audience that loves chaos. The weaknesses? Well, there's a risk of burnout and controversies by pushing so many boundaries, and a lack of control over how clips get used. The opportunities? To expand beyond streaming, go into music, collabs, brand deals, international reach. And what about the threats? Well, there's platform bans, algorithm shifts, and sometimes audiences just get tired. So my take on the overall strategy, I think it's a bit wobbly. Make no mistake, Speed's strategy was resilient because he made himself the brand. And as long as he keeps reinventing himself and entertains people, he'll stay relevant. But it's a bit of a fragile strategy because one major controversy, one platform ban could derail everything. So it's pretty delicate. Finally, we get to the execution, and this is where Speed really shines. We use the PhD check, which asks, do you have the passion, the habits, and the discipline to turn that chaos into success? And the answer, well, passion, he is obsessed with entertaining. You can tell he genuinely loves being live, no matter how crazy it gets. Habits, he streams constantly, and he feeds his audience with consistent energy, and of course he's constantly online. As for discipline, for all the chaos, again, he's shockingly consistent. Day after day, he shows up and he delivers. And that discipline keeps his audience hooked. So, did execution prove the strategy or expose the blind spots? Well, clearly the former. It proved the strategy. Speed's nonstop energy and consistency turned raw chaos into a career. For those of you who are inspired by Speed, and you should be, what's the takeaway? What can we learn from his story? Well, IShowSpeed's story shows that in the creator economy, you don't need to be polished. You just need to be unforgettable and original. His goal was bold, his strategy was chaotic, but brilliant, and his execution was relentless. The lesson? Authenticity, even wild, messy authenticity, can build a bigger brand than perfection. Bottom line, be yourself and show up every day. On a side note, one thing I wonder about is IShowSpeed actually a calculated genius who knows exactly what audiences want? Or is it just pure unfiltered randomness that somehow works? Let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this breakdown. If you've got goals, you want inspiration, and you're curious about the lessons that make the difference between success and failure, hit the subscribe button. That way, you won't miss the next Jesse analysis or Upside Scoop interview. Each one could give you a lesson that helps you with your journey. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.